You worked for this. You earned it. You achieved something real. And yet, when people congratulate you, a small voice inside says, they don't really know you. It feels like you tricked everyone, like the spotlight is slightly misplaced. You don't feel proud, you feel exposed. Why does success make you feel like a fraud? Visual, person standing alone under a soft spotlight in a dark room. It's subtle at first. You accomplish something, a promotion, a creative project, a personal goal. People notice. They praise you, and instead of absorbing it, you deflect. It wasn't that hard. I just got lucky. Anyone could have done it, but alone at night it's heavier. You replay the praise in your head, not to enjoy it, but to analyze it. Did they mean it? Did I oversell myself? What if next time I can't repeat this? Visual, person lying awake, city lights outside the window. The strange part is that the higher you go, the more fraudulent you feel. Your external life expands. Your internal identity doesn't. Psychologists sometimes call this impostor phenomenon, first studied by Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes in the 1970s. But labels aren't the point. The deeper pattern is this: your results have changed. Your self-concept hasn't. And when those two are out of sync, your brain chooses the older story. So you start living with a quiet tension. I succeeded, but I'm not someone who succeeds. That contradiction creates psychological friction. And your brain hates friction. But why does it protect the older identity instead of updating it? That's where things get interesting. Visual. Two overlapping circles slowly misaligning. You're not broken. You're not ungrateful. And you're not incapable of confidence. What you're experiencing is an identity lag. Your nervous system is loyal to the version of you that kept you safe in the past. Maybe you were praised for being as smart, but only when things came easily. Maybe mistakes led to criticism. Maybe achievement brought pressure, not warmth. So your brain learned something simple. Being exceptional equals being evaluated. Being evaluated equals being unsafe. Success isn't just success. It's exposure. Visual, child raising hand in class, freeze frame from a behavioral psychology perspective. Your brain wires around reinforcement. If achievement was paired with anxiety, scrutiny, or emotional distance, then success becomes neurologically linked with threat. So when you win now, your body prepares for impact, not celebration. But what exactly is happening inside your brain in that moment? Let's break it down. Your brain runs on prediction. In cognitive science, this is called predictive processing. Your mind constantly asks, what kind of person am I? What usually happens to someone like me, your self-concept becomes a mental model, a stable prediction about your identity. Think of it like a thermostat. Visual, close-up of a thermostat dial. If your internal thermostat is set to average and life suddenly heats up to high success, your system tries to cool it back down, not because it hates you, but because stability feels safe. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for self-reflection, compares new evidence, your success, to old beliefs. I'm not that capable. When they don't match, you feel cognitive dissonance. That discomfort triggers the amygdala, the brain's alarm system. And the alarm doesn't say, congratulations. Okay? Congratulations. It says something doesn't fit. So your brain resolves the tension the easiest way it can. It downplays the achievement. It was luck. They overestimate me. I fooled them. This preserves your old identity. An identity to the brain is survival because belonging depends on predictability. Visual, abstract brain animation, connections lighting up. Here's the mental model. Identity, right arrow prediction, right arrow emotion. If your identity predicts I'm not exceptional, and reality contradicts it, emotion spikes, not joy, threat. But here's the deeper question. If your brain is trying to protect you from... We don't fix this by chanting affirmations. We update the internal model slowly. Step 1, separate outcome from identity. What to do. Instead of saying, I am successful, say, I executed this specific behavior well. Why it works. This shifts from global identity to behavior-based evaluation. Behavioral psychology shows that specific reinforcement updates neural pathways more effectively than vague traits. Your brain resists identity jumps, but it accepts evidence. Example, instead of I'm actually competent, say I prepared thoroughly for that meeting and preparation improved my performance. This gives your prefrontal cortex something concrete to encode. Visual, notebook with one sentence written, small evidence. Repeated. That's how identity shifts. But there's another layer. Step 2. Normalize the threat response. What to do. When you feel fraudulent after success, label it. This is my nervous system reacting to visibility. Why it works. Effect labeling, studied in neuroscience, reduces amygdala activation. Naming the emotion calms the alarm system. You're not eliminating fear, you're contextualizing it. Example, after receiving praise, instead of spiraling, pause and think, my body is interpreting attention as risk. That's old wiring. The moment you name it, you move from threat to observation. Visual, slow-moving light patterns and observation creates distance. Step 3. Expand your identity gradually. What to do. Adopt transitional language. I'm becoming someone who handles responsibility. Why it works. Identity theory shows the brain updates more easily through incremental narratives rather than sudden shifts. Going from I'm not capable to I'm exceptional creates resistance, but I'm learning to handle bigger rooms. It feels believable. Example, when you step into a new role, instead of feeling like an imposter, tell yourself, this discomfort is what growth feels like in real time. Your brain can integrate that. Visual, person walking into a larger, brighter room. Step 4. Stay present after praise. What to do. When someone compliments you, don't deflect. Say a thank you, then stop. Why it works. Allowing positive feedback to land strengthens reward circuitry, particularly dopamine pathways associated with reinforcement learning. Deflecting interrupts encoding. Receiving builds it. Example, someone says, you did amazing. Instead of laughing it off, hold eye contact for 1 second longer than comfortable. Let the sentence finish inside you. Visual, empty room with sunlight slowly filling it. It will feel unnatural. That's the point. You're training your nervous system that success does not equal danger. And this leads to something unexpected. Think of your identity as a house you built years ago. It protected you. It made sense at the time. But now your life has expanded. New rooms are being added. Visual, how slowly expanding outward. If you keep insisting you live in the old structure, every new room will feel illegal. Success doesn't feel fake because you are fake. It feels fake because your internal blueprint hasn't been updated. And blueprints don't change through emotion. They change through repeated lived evidence. Behavior, recognition, integration. Over time, the thermostat resets, the prediction updates, and the emotional spike softens. You don't feel like an imposter. You feel calibrated. There may always be a flicker of doubt when you step higher. That flicker isn't proof you don't belong. It's proof you're expanding beyond your old map. Visual, waves moving slowly at dusk. The version of you that feels real is simply the version you're familiar with. Familiar doesn't mean accurate. It just means rehearsed. So the next time you succeed and your chest tightens and your mind whispers they'll find out, pause. And consider a different possibility. Maybe nothing needs to be exposed. Maybe you're not pretending to be capable. Maybe you're just becoming someone your past self never imagined.